Turn the radio up. Why's the silence talking? There. When the signal dies, dead air. Still hear the lies. Turn it down. But they don't disappear. Sometimes the quietest voice is the one you fear. Midnight on the block, window barely open. City making noises like a secret left unspoken. Static on the radio, numbers on the screen. Everybody selling something, everybody looking clean. I don't trust the picture when the picture looks too perfect. Something underneath it usually making it worthless. Man talk smooth, tie straight, words polished, facts late. Everybody wants the truth when the truth pays well. Nobody wants the history when the history don't sell. I seen stories get rewritten, names disappear. Yesterday's warning become tomorrow's souvenir. So I keep one eye open, one hand on the dial. Let the silence sit a minute, see what happens after a while. Dead air. When the signal dies, dead air. Still hear the lies. Turn it down. But they don't disappear. Sometimes the quietest voice is the one you fear. Smoke hanging low, bass rattling the room. Old school underground, cutting through the gloom. Cannabis culture, never needed permission. Built itself quietly outside the television. People pass the knowledge, pass the music, pass the flame. While the outside world was busy calling everybody names. Then the doors open, money found the culture. Suddenly the same conversation got a corporate structure. Now everybody wants a piece of what survived. But don't forget the people who kept the roots alive. Don't erase the history just because the market grew. Don't confuse commercialization with understanding what it grew from too. I ain't here preaching, I'm pointing at the mirror. Because every shiny future got a complicated past hiding nearer. Dead air. That's when I hear it. No music, no talking, no screen to interfere with it. Just a refrigerator humming, traffic far away. Thoughts getting louder when the noise fades. That's when paranoia likes to knock on the door. Makes a harmless shadow look like something more. I learned fear doesn't need a weapon. Give it enough imagination and it'll make its own connection. One coincidence, then another. Then your mind starts building castles out of thunder. So I check myself before I blame the world. Because sometimes your own thoughts are the ones keeping you curled. Turn it off. Listen. What remains? Listen. Yeah. Authority talks loud, culture talks quiet. One wants obedience, one says don't buy it. I don't worship either, I just study the game. Watch who writes the rules and who gets attached to the blame. If they call it dangerous, that's what they mean. If they call it freedom, that's what they have seen. If they call it medicine, look into the science. If they call it criminal, look into the violence. Because words carry weight when they're printed in the law. And history remembers who was standing at the door. Years of prohibition, years of stigma and fear. Now the conversation changed because the public wants to hear. Funny how a culture can go from underground to something everybody suddenly wants around. No signal, no screen, no voice, no machine. Just the bass, just the beat, just the question underneath. Yeah. When the signal dies, dead air. Still hear the lies. Turn it down, but they don't disappear. Sometimes the quietest voice is the one you fear. The guitar grounds low, never taking center stage. Just enough distortion to put teeth inside the bass. Kick hits hard, stair cracks dry. Scratch cuts through like a blade across the night. That's the sound I want, not polished, not clean. Something dark underneath everything you think you've seen. Hip hop in the bloodstream, guitar underneath. A little bit of tension grinding underneath the beat. No stadium, no spotlight, no screaming crowd. Just four walls, one microphone, and the speakers turn loud. I remember empty rooms, people building from nothing, making something out of silence when nobody was covered. That's the underground spirit, that's the pop that survives. Not the money, not the image, but the reason that it thrives. You can change the packaging, you can change the name, but you can't erase the people who carried all the flame. So when they tell you what the culture is supposed to be, look beyond the advertisement. Look at what you actually see. Yeah. Kill the noise. Listen to what's left. Dead air. Dead air. When the world goes quiet. Dead air. That's when the thoughts start riot. No signal, no scream, no voice in your ear. Just you and the truth. When the dead air appears. Lights low, room dark, city breathing like a dying spark. Window open, cold air, something moving, but there's nobody there. Radio static fading in and out, like somebody's trying to tell me what they're about. I reach for the dial and I stop halfway. Why kill the silence just because it makes me afraid? Noise keeps the mind from asking questions. Noise keeps people from noticing connections. Everybody scrolling, everybody watching, everybody convinced that somebody else is talking. I shut it all down, let the room go black. Sometimes you find the truth when there's nothing talking back. When the world goes quiet, that's when the thoughts start riot. No signal, no scream, no voice in your ear. Just you and the truth. When the dead air appears. Smoke drifting upward, bass underneath. Old record crackling like it got something to teach. Cannabis culture, roots in the underground. People built community when they couldn't make a sound. Music became a meeting place, a language, a home, a way to stay connected when everybody felt alone. But history gets edited when the spotlight arrives. Suddenly the old stories don't fit the corporate design. They want the aesthetic, they want the green, they want the culture without knowing what it means. So remember the roots when the branches get high. Remember the people who kept it alive. Don't turn a complicated history into a marketing line. Don't sell the whole story, then erase the hardest times. Dead air, now I hear my breathing. Every thought that I bury starts slowly resurfacing. Old mistakes, old fears, old memories I haven't touched in years. Funny what appears when the noise disappears. The mind keeps records that the mouth never shares. Keeps photographs that nobody else sees there. That's where paranoia starts making its entrance, turning every little thought into another sentence. But I don't run from it, I watch it move, let it pass through without giving it the room. Because the thought isn't a fact and the feeling isn't proof. Sometimes the strongest thing you can do is simply check the truth. No signal, no distraction, no escape. Just listen. Everybody wants a simple answer, black or white, good or evil, wrong or right. But life ain't a courtroom with the judge in the sky. Sometimes both sides got a reason why. So I study the history, look at the evidence, separate the anger from the actual relevance. If we're talking freedom, talk about responsibility. If we're talking cannabis, talk about reality. If we're talking reform, talk about who was affected. If we're talking culture, talk about who got neglected. That's how you build something that survives the noise, not another empty slogan for somebody else to deploy. Kill the signal, cut the feed, let the silence tell you what you need. When the world goes quiet, that's when the thoughts start riot. No signal, no screen, no voice in your ear. Just you and the truth. When the dead air appears. Guitar underneath, chugging like a heartbeat. Not a rock song, just another layer underneath the concrete. Kick, snare, crack, scratch, guts, bass attacks. That's the pressure, that's the tension. Hip-hop first, guitar as the aggression. Dark room, low light, smoke floating through the midnight. No crowd, no stage, no polished performance. Just a booth and a microphone recording. That's where the truth lives, that's where the rhythm breathes. That's where a dirty little guitar can crawl beneath the beat. I don't need the world to agree with me. I need the freedom to examine what I see. Question my own side, question yours too. If the evidence changes, change what you do. That's not weakness, that's growth. That's how you separate the truth from the ghost. Because the devil in the static needs your figure survive. Need you to stop thinking he's the noise kept alive. So turn it down, let it die. Listen carefully, though we're still inside. When the world goes quiet, that's when the thoughts start riot. No signal, no screen, no voice in your ear, just you and the truth. When the dead air appears. Turn it off. What's left when nobody's talking? Dead air. When the city loses sound, dead air. That's when truth comes around. No static, no static, no static, no static, no lies, no voices in the hall. When everything goes quiet, you can hear it all. Yeah. 3 in the morning, street barely moving. One car passes, then the silence starts improving. No television, no phone, or no notification. Just me sitting alone with my own imagination. Funny how the mind is louder without noise. Starts bringing back memories you buried by choice. Faces, places, things you never said. Old conversations running circles in your head. That's when you realize you can't escape yourself. You can hide from the world, but you can't hide from yourself. So I sit with the silence, let the thoughts come through, then separate what's real from what fear wants me to do. When the city loses sound, that's when truth comes around. No static, no static, no static, no static, no lies, no voices in the hall. When everything goes quiet, you can hear it all. Back when the culture lived under the radar, smoke in the room, bass coming from the neighbor, music through the wall, windows covered tight, people finding their freedom in the middle of the night. No corporate language, no polished presentation, just underground music and a shared conversation. Cannabis culture was more than a product, more than a logo, more than something somebody could market. It was community, it was music, it was identity. People finding somewhere they could finally breathe. Now the spotlight's brighter and the money's much louder, but don't let the business erase the people underneath it, because if you forget where the roots came from, you can lose the meaning before the song is even done. Dead air. I hear the refrigerator humming, clock on the wall, heartbeat in my chest, nothing else at all. Then I hear a whisper from the corner of my brain, something I ignore because I didn't want the pain. Fear says, look behind you. Logic says, stay still. Fear says, something's coming. Logic says, maybe it isn't. That's the battle. Nobody sees when you're walking outside, the war inside your head that you carry with pride. You can smile in public, you can talk like you're fine, while 1,000 little questions are running through your mind. So I learn not to panic every time the feeling hits. Sometimes your brain is just connecting pieces that don't fit. Listen, no signal, no distraction, no escape. Listen. Everybody got a message, everybody got a plan. Everybody wants to tell you what they think you should understand. News tells you one thing, street tells you another. Politician talks about the people like we're all one another. But people aren't statistics, people aren't votes, people aren't headlines floating underneath quotes. So when they talk about reform, I want the whole conversation, not just money, not just regulation. Talk about the history, talk about the people, talk about the laws that turn culture into evil. Then ask what changed, ask who changed their mind, ask why something criminal can become acceptable with time. Turn the signal down, turn the noise away, let the questions breathe, let the silence stay. When the city loses sound, that's when truth comes around. No static, no static, no static, no static, no lies, no voices in the hall. When everything goes quiet, you can hear it all. No guitar crawling underneath the drum, not a rock song, just a warning where the rhythm comes from. Kick hits heavy, snare cuts clean, bass rolls deep like something moving underneath the scene. DJ cuts the sample, vinyl starts breathing, smoke in the room and the whole beat keeps creeping. That's the balance, dark hip-hop verse, guitar underneath, just enough distortion to make the darkness sick. No stadium lights, no crowd screaming back, just a microphone, a dirty beat, and the story on a track. Maybe dead air is an empty space. Maybe it's the moment when you finally face everything you avoided, everything you denied, everything you blamed on the world outside. That's uncomfortable, that's real, that's where growth begins. Not when somebody tells you how to feel, but when you sit alone and figure out what you actually believe. When the city loses sound, that's when truth comes around. No static, no static, no static, no static, no lies, no voices in the hall. When everything goes quiet, 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 you can hear it all. Dead air. Everybody got something to say. But what happens when they disappear? Dead air. When the voices fade. Dead air. When the masks get laid. No signal, no light, no light, no story to defend. When the world stops talking, you can hear who you really are in the end. Late night, same room, same smoke, same gloom. Television blinking, but nobody watching. Phone face down while the clock keeps knocking. I used to fill the silence with anything I could find. Music, conversation, anything to occupy the mind. Now I let it breathe. Let the silence get heavy. Let the thoughts come through when the head isn't ready. Because noise is easy. Noise keeps you moving. Noise keeps you thinking that you're actually improving. But silence asks questions. Silence remembers. Silence knows exactly where you buried the answers. Dead air. When the voices fade. Dead air. When the masks get laid. No signal, no light, no light, no story to defend. When the world stops talking, you can hear who you really are in the smoke curling up with bass rolling underneath. Old record crackling like a memory with teeth. Culture came from rooms where the windows stayed closed. People passing ideas, nobody else exposed. Music wasn't decoration, it was part of the language. A way to turn pressure into something they could manage. Cannabis culture, underground identity. People trying to breathe outside the boundaries of society. Now the market got bigger, everybody wants a piece. But money doesn't automatically mean the culture found peace. Remember who was there before the cameras arrived, before the polished campaigns, before the product got advertised. You can change the packaging, change the rules, change the terminology, but history doesn't lose. Dead air in the hallway, something moved, I froze. Heart starts racing, mind starts composing a story nobody knows. That's paranoia, it takes a little shadow, it makes it 10 feet tall. Takes a harmless sound and turns it into a call. But I know the trick now, I don't give it control. I watch the thought arrive, then I let the thought go. Not every feeling needs to become belief. Not every suspicion needs a target underneath. Sometimes your mind just wants a reason. Sometimes the darkness doesn't need a demon. No signal, no voices, no excuses, just listen. Everybody wants certainty, something they can hold. A simple explanation for a world that's getting cold. But certainty can be dangerous when you stop looking deeper. When you let somebody else become your permanent teacher. I don't need perfection, I need room to question. I don't need a slogan, I need context and perspective. If we're talking cannabis, talk about the history. If we're talking freedom, talk about responsibility. If we're talking reform, talk about who got hurt. If we're talking culture, don't reduce it to a shirt. Because culture isn't branded and history isn't content. You don't get to erase the past just because the the future got expensive. Dead air, no distraction. Dead air, no reaction. Let the silence sit, let the questions come. Dead air, when the voices fade. Dead air, when the mask get laid. No signal, no light, no light. No story to defend. When the world stops talking, you can hear who you really are in the no guitar underneath, chugging with the bass. Never taking over, just putting pressure in the space. Drums stay dusty, scratch cut sharp. Hammond sounds haunted like a voice inside the dark. That's the sound, dirty and restrained. Hip-hop in the bloodstream, new metal in the vein. Not a rock anthem, not a pop parade. Just a darker little texture, making every bar hit harder, harder in the shade. Maybe that's why there feels dangerous. Cause once the noise disappears, nobody else can answer for you. No commentator, no politician, no influencer, no stranger telling you what you're supposed to believe. Just you and the question, less uncomfortable. But maybe that's where real thinking begins. When the voices fade, when the mask get laid. No signal, no light, no light. No story to defend. When the world stops talking, you can hear who you really are in the air. Let the whole room freeze, hear the truth beneath the noise. Let the whole room freeze, hear the truth beneath the noise. When the last light fades, when the last speaker dies, when there's nothing left to distract your eyes. Don't panic, don't panic. Don't run. No seamer. No voices, no excuses. When the noise dies, what are you hiding from? Dead air, nothing left to hide. Dead air, when the noise collide. No signal, no scream, no voice to blame. When the room goes quiet, you gotta face your name. Yeah. Another night, another city, another window, looking down on everybody. Street lights flicker, taxi moving slow. Somebody got somewhere that they'll never let me know. Radio silent, phone on the table, mind getting louder than the cable news channel. That's when I start thinking about the things we accept, the things we call normal, the things we never inspect. Everybody chasing something, everybody wants more. Everybody got a reason for the way they keep score. But who's keeping score on the people left behind? Who's counting every voice that got buried in the noise? Dead air, nothing left to hide. Dead air, when the noise collide. No signal, no scream, no voice to blame. When the room goes quiet, you gotta face your name. Smoke rising slowly, bass shaking the floor. Old school record spinning like it's been there before. Underground culture didn't need a billboard, didn't need a corporation telling people what it stood for. It grew through the music, through the people, through the rooms, through the late night sessions under artificial moons. Cannabis became part of the language in the scene, a symbol of resistance long before the shelves turned green. Now everybody wants it, everybody's got a brand. Everybody wants to hold it like they always understood the plan. But understanding history means remembering the cost, remembering the people who were punished or lost. Dead air, I hear the clock ticking. Each second getting louder like the room itself is listening. Maybe I'm paranoid, maybe I'm aware. Maybe there's a difference between the two, hiding somewhere. Fear can make a prison, doubt can make a cage. Anger can turn a sentence into something you can't escape. So I watch my thoughts before I give them names, because sometimes your own mind likes playing little games. One shadow, one sound, one unexplained event. Suddenly you built a story with 100% conviction. But conviction isn't evidence and feelings aren't proof. Sometimes the bravest thing is admitting you don't know the truth. Don't run. Don't react. Just listen. What's underneath? They'll tell you what to fear, They'll tell you what to hate, they'll tell you who's responsible and tell you it's too late. But I don't take directions from somebody selling panic, because fear makes a market and the market can get frantic. Look at the history, look at the laws, look at the people who were caught inside the cars. Look at the culture, look at the change, look at how the same behavior gets described a different way. Yesterday forbidden, tomorrow celebrated. Funny how the meaning changes when the prophets get created. That's why I keep asking, who decides? Not because I'm paranoid, because I wanna know the price. Kill the noise, cut the feed, let the silence show you what you need. Dead air, nothing left to hide. Dead there, when the noise collide. No signal, no scream, no voice to blame. When the room goes quiet, you gotta face your name. Yeah. Guitar crawling underneath, low enough to haunt, chugging with the bass like a shadow that you can't confront. Kick hits hard, snare cuts dry, scratch tears through while the Hammond goes right by. No rock choruses, no stadium lights, just underground hip-hop moving through the night. New metal texture, giving pressure to the beat, but the drums stay king and the bass stays deep. That's the combination, that's the chemistry. Dark hip-hop foundation with a little distortion underneath. Maybe silence isn't empty, maybe silence is a test. Maybe every voice you trusted was just noise covering the rest. Maybe freedom isn't shouted, maybe freedom is the choice to hear every side of something before you pick a voice. That's harder than rebellion, harder than screaming loud, because thinking for yourself doesn't always draw a crowd. But I don't need a crowd, I need clarity. Dead air, nothing left to hide. Dead there, when the noise collide. No signal, no scream, no voice to blame. When the room goes quiet, you gotta face your name. Dead air, let the static die. Dead air, look yourself in the eye.